I feel like I'm crooked. I don't know. Just gonna hang out and wait for a few people to show up. Got my caffeine, so we're all set. Get me to be chatty with my caffeine. It's so good, the bang. I don't know. Is it just me, or does my lens seem like it is like fuzzy? I don't know. I'm gonna, hopefully you guys don't mind. I'm gonna wipe my lens. I should have done that already. Woo! Hey! So much better. Yeah, I think that was a little bit weird. Okay, anyway, good morning. Hey, Marjorie! I haven't seen you in a while. Keto and Coffee with Marjorie. I miss you. Oh, it's good to see you. And Karen. It's so great to have Karen Rothwell with me. She's awesome. She's always here, and I don't know if it's just a really good time for Karen, but I don't know if it's a really good time for me because I keep forgetting about live chat until like I have like 20 minutes to hurry up and throw some makeup on. One of these days I'm just going to not bother to throw makeup on. Hope you guys don't mind if I show up. I didn't even hardly do any today. Just a little. I probably look funny. Well. Okay. So who's here? Let's see who's here. Ah, Nancy. Hey. You live in California? I love California. We went to Disneyland last October. We don't get to go very often on vacations, so it was a big, huge deal for us to go to California. But I love it there. Ah, my friend lives there, and sometimes I'm like, I need to just go visit her so that I can soak up some warm air. Here in Utah, we are starting school soon, and so everybody is like gearing up for fall, and there's all these people like saying, "Oh, I can't wait for fall. I can't wait for fall." And me, I'm just like, no, keep my summer. I love my summer. I've had the best summer. This has been the best summer. I can't even tell you for how long. It has been absolutely amazing, and I have enjoyed every second of it. So I don't want it to be over. So I'm going to see who else is here and say hello. Laura Trent, good to see you back. Penny Wallace, good to see you. I will get back to your question in a second. Let's see. Get Fit for Me. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Andrea S. Hi. Adriana Zuniga. Hi. From Fresno, California. We got a lot of California girls today. Welcome to the California girls. I love it. Tracy Burton. Hello. Keto in the Family. Oh, I don't think I've seen you either. Hello. Welcome. I try and keep track of the keto channels, but there's so many now, it's hard to keep track. If I don't notice you right away, keep commenting on my videos, and eventually I will check out your channel if you have one. I'm usually pretty good about that, but since I started my other channel, my family channel, I've kind of gotten like, my brain has like exploded a little bit to the point where yesterday I didn't even put out my Keto for Beginners video because I was just like, I don't know. We were doing a hide and seek video that was pretty intense, and I just kind of, it slipped my mind until it was too late. So I feel really bad about that. Uh, it was mostly just because I wasn't home all day and I just couldn't do it. So I'm going to get it done though. Let's see, who else is here? Aletha Grooms. And Teresa from Keto Fat Girl No More. Good morning. Love to see you here. She's my weight twin. We kind of stick together on our weigh-ins. I don't know, maybe we're connected somehow. One of these days we got to meet. All of us originals. All of us originals who've been supporting each other for, oh my gosh, almost a year. Can you believe I've been on YouTube almost a year? I think I only have 9 more days to plan a big, huge video, and I don't know what to do. Any ideas? I have no idea. My 18-month video was epic, and I feel like it needs to be like that, only I just can't think of anything good. I don't know. All right, and let's see if there's anybody else so I don't miss anyone. I think you're all just asking questions now. Okay, so before I answer questions, I just want to talk a little bit about the subject for this video so that we actually have the subject in the video for people that come later. I wanted to talk about getting bored. So I know that sometimes when you're on a keto way of eating, it can get kind of, you're trying to keep it simple at first, especially because keeping it simple is just easier to track, it's easier to do, and it's pretty tasty. But after a while, what do you do if you get bored? You're eating meat and veggies and cheeses. That's pretty much it. Do you guys have any tips and tricks for what to do when you get bored of eating? I am actually struggling with this right now. So I have actually been eating keto for 19 months and never really felt bored. I felt very satisfied the whole time. Up until recently, my go-to meals that I love to eat are just starting to fall flat for me. So my favorite one that used to be my favorite thing I eat multiple times a week was chicken with provolone cheese and a little bit of ragu Alfredo sauce over zoodles. And lately, every time I have it, I just kind of am like bored. I don't know. I just don't love it as much as I used to love it. It used to be my comfort food meal, and now I'm just kind of like, So I don't know. I'm trying to come up with ways. I don't really want to delve into recipes too crazy. And I don't recommend that. If you're just starting keto, it's best to stick to simple foods and just try and make them taste really good. We do a lot of seasonings. Chef Dave is my husband. He is not really a chef. We call him that because he's always cooking. He's really clever with making lots of really delicious things. So it's not like I am struggling. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, this is a long time thing, and I want to do this for a long time. But lately, especially this last week, I think maybe it's just because I've been overwhelmed with life in general. I think maybe my whole life is just kind of falling flat. Does that make sense? I think might be more of a headspace issue than an actual food issue. But some tips and tricks that I have tried in the past for avoiding getting bored are sauces. So I tend to eat a lot of chicken for the reason that you can add a sauce to it to get your fats, but not go too high on your fats. Because you know that I don't do the high fat keto. So I try and keep my fats under 80. And that's sometimes easy and it's sometimes not so easy. And a lot of times, if I can do a chicken breast with sour cream and cheese and really yummy things on top, that seems to help like my palate a little bit. Makes me feel like I'm eating a little bit more decadent food, not really diet food. You know what I mean? I haven't really been in the mood for steaks lately. Every time I've had them, I've just been kind of like underwhelmed. But I've been eating them anyway because you need to have a variety of food. You can't just eat chicken breast every day. Well, I suppose you could, but I could pretty much every day. And lately I've been craving fat a lot more. I don't know if my body is just in the mood for more fatty things. I've been wanting to have more chicken wings and things, and I haven't been able to afford to do that. And maybe that's kind of the issue, is that my body is asking me for something that I can't give it right now. I don't know. So do you guys have any tips or tricks on how to avoid getting bored on keto? Because this is a lifetime thing for me. I have to do this forever. And I'd love to know if you guys have any tips to share with me, because right now I'm having a rough week. My daughter is having a rough week, you guys. If you're following me on hide and seek, you'll know that my 17-year-old daughter's school closed down and she was forced to find another school. And she was at a performing arts school with teachers that were absolutely phenomenal. So trying to find dance teachers that we can afford that even come close to those guys is literally impossible. And it's been devastating. We also lost our dance studio because they doubled prices. So we went from having plans to having no plans. Now, I will let you know that yesterday we filmed the epic video. My daughter did choose a school, and she did find out if she made the big, huge company that she tried out for. I'm just going to leave it right there. So it's been kind of rough for us the last couple of days, and dang it. I didn't even cry in the video. Stop it. I'm cool. I can handle it. She's handling it. I can handle it. As a mom, being a mom sometimes is really hard, you guys. Being a mom is sometimes really hard. And I think that just because I'm dealing with a lot of emotional issues, it's been really hard for me on keto this week. I haven't really been wanting to film my food. I have filmed it because I love you guys, but I've just kind of been going, I don't really want to. And I think I've had more bars and keto cakes this week than I really should, and I didn't film them, and I'm probably going to be told that I'm being deceitful again. Whatever. Sorry, guys. I can't do everything, and sometimes YouTube gets a little bit overwhelming, and sometimes I like want to throw in the towel a little bit just because it's hard. But I'm not going to because I'm a strong person and I love you guys too much. So I'm not going to do that. But suffice it to say that I'm barely hanging in there this week. But I will tell you, because I know you guys are all worried about my sleep, because I know that's a lot to do with it. Last night, I got my video edited super fast. I went to bed at midnight, guys. Midnight. That's earlier. I haven't gone to sleep before 1 a.m. in 6 weeks. Yeah. So I went to bed at midnight and I slept in until 9 a.m. So be proud. Be proud of how much sleep I got last night. I don't necessarily feel much better, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to see if you guys have said any tips. And if you guys have tips, I will mention them. And if you don't, we'll go back and do everybody's questions because I did see quite a few questions when I was looking through. So let's see. Okay, so Nancy says that she's kind of doing what I'm doing. Nancy Stoltenberg, she says she's keto for 10 months. She doesn't like to get too complicated. The easier and the quicker, the better. She loves my what to eat this week videos because they're simple and doable. And yeah, that's why we do it. And I feel like people might get bored because I eat the same thing every morning. But you guys, it's super easy to make and it keeps me full for a really long time. And I can cook it. And I don't need Chef Dave to make it for me to make it taste good because bacon always tastes good. So I eat the same thing every day a lot of the time just because that's what I do. And I hate I feel like I've got to change it up for you guys, but I just really don't want to eat anything else. Every morning that's what I want to eat. Well, every afternoon, I guess. I don't usually get around. Ooh, Karen Rothwell says she made CJ's Keto Kitchen's meatloaf recipe in the Instant Pot and it was awesome. Ooh, meatloaf. That actually does sound good. I think I might have to do that. And casseroles and things make it really, really hard because it's hard to put all that stuff in chronometer and then divide it out. I don't know. I don't love doing recipes, but maybe that's what I need to do at least for a little while just to try and shake things up. But meatloaf does sound good. I think I might have to check out CJ's channel. If you guys haven't checked out CJ's Keto Kitchen, he does have a lot of really great, well, I should say they have a lot of really great recipes because it's a husband and wife duo and they do recipes. They are the higher fat usually, so I usually have to tweak them for me if I make them. Same with Keto Connect and those guys because their recipes just don't really work for my macros. And I have done that. So basically ways I do that is I try and use lower fat dairy products and things in them, and I don't add extra fats, and I used to use the meat fats and things like that make it bring down the fat. But then also I can't use their macros that they've figured out for the recipe. I have to do it myself, which is why I don't want to do it because it's just kind of too much for my brain most of the time. Thanks you guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, I have talked to her past teachers. The big alternative was the one she tried out for. That one was basically the same thing she would have had if she had continued on in the school. And secondly, the other studios that have been recommended to me are all out of our price range because she was going to a charter school and it didn't cost any money. I don't have, $500 a month to fork into a new dance studio. That's why we started our YouTube channel because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of not having enough money to pay for what my kids need to do. We have money. I mean, my husband makes good money at his job, but we have 9 children and we're trying to do things that are really expensive. Dance is not cheap, and my kids all love it. I never ever dreamed that dance would become so important in our lives when we started a little podunk homeschool dance studio way back 17, 18 years ago. I never in a million years thought it would become the center point of our lives and that it would cost so much money. So far, not including Ronnie's dance studio, I'm up to, let's see, almost $600 a month in tuition, not including Ronnie's. So if that means anything to you. You can understand a little bit why I need to find something extremely affordable, but nothing that is worth taking is affordable. You know what I mean? Anyway, gosh, I don't want to talk about money, you guys. I'm sorry. I really don't want to do that. That's why I do YouTube though, and I appreciate all of your support. Every time you guys watch a video and interact and comment and people subscribe, it helps us. And I couldn't do dance without YouTube. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you guys do for me because I appreciate it so much. Debbie Lyman says she'd get bored with food even when she wasn't on keto. And that is true. I think you just kind of go through cycles where food just doesn't taste good. And maybe it's because I'm feeling like emotionally heavy that food just isn't pleasurable anymore right now. It's just, I have to eat just to survive. And so I'm just eating because I have to. And most nights, like even last night, I had some delicious cauliflower cheese and a steak, and I literally had to just like make myself eat it. I didn't want to eat at all. But one thing that I get asked a lot is if you don't feel like eating, do you have to still eat? And the answer is yes. I know there's a lot of people that say intuitive eating is best, but I don't think your body always knows what's best for it. And a lot of times your emotions are like running that, and a lot of times, especially at the beginning of keto, you just don't feel hungry. But your body still needs that protein in order to build muscle and to retain it. So yes, you do still need to eat. You can't just skip meals and not eat. You have to still do it. And so even if I'm eating at 11 o'clock at night, sometimes I am, and I just make myself eat it because skipping a meal is just not an option for me. So let's see. You don't want me to burn out? Yeah, I'm not a burnout kind of person. Usually I can kind of feel it coming and I don't usually burn out, but I know how to pull back a little bit. I think I was a little bit not prepared for how much work another channel would be to do dailies because I've never done dailies here. And even if I did do dailies here, a lot of it is just me sitting here talking, which is super easy to make and edit. It's not super easy to make and edit videos that incorporate, 60 clips and have to be under 20 minutes. It's hard. Yes, keto is gluten-free. We do not eat any grains at all on keto. It's basically meats, veggies, but only low-carb veggies, so not peas and carrots, not potatoes, not corn, things like that. And cheeses, dairy products that are low in carb. So yeah, I have a whole Keto for Beginners series on my channel if you want to check it out. If you really want to know about what keto is all about. I've got the first 3 videos up there, and I will get the next one up very soon. Oh, Teresa, we're like twins. You're getting bored today. You're getting bored as well. It's so weird. We've been doing this so long. Like, how is it even possible to get bored? I thought I was like in a groove and like, I don't know. Like, I'm not even kidding. Even the keto cakes, when I eat them, they don't taste that great. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. They're just not that great. And they taste really good. I don't know. It's just me. I really think it's just me. Yeah. Let's see. Karen says the only way I can avoid being bored with food is trying new recipes I can make a batch of and reheat. That way it doesn't take a ton of time. Yeah, maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to talk to Dave. We get paid on Friday, so maybe next week we can try doing some more recipe type things. I just hate to get too complicated, especially for my videos, because people will be like, what is that? And how do I do it? And it gets people really confused. But I might have to do it. Hey, Wildlandrica, good to have you here. I'm glad you made it. That's awesome. Okay. Philly cheesesteaks without a bun are my go-to pity meal. Philly cheesesteaks. We've done au jus, like dip with just provolone cheese, but I've never done any with like actual peppers and things. Maybe I need to do that. Peppers and onions, provolone cheese, some yummy beef. Good idea. I like that idea. CJ's Pizza Mac and Cheese? Wow. I don't even know what that is. And you put it on cabbage. Interesting. I will check that out too. I'm guessing it'll probably be too high for my fat macro. mac and cheese recipes are, but I will definitely check out. I need to go to his channel more often. All right. Wait a minute. Wow, Lindica, is your name Kimberly? How did I not know that? You guys are too cute. Oh yeah, swimming is expensive, gymnastics is expensive. Anything your kids want to do that like gets competitive, it's expensive, and you just never know. Can my daughter start a dance school for little kids to help pay for it? Not really, because it would just be overwhelming. We don't have a studio space. I don't even have a place in my home that I could set something like that up. Um, Starting a new business is just like it's expensive in and of itself. And also, she's just not prepared to deal with the business side of it. And I am not smart enough to like deal with that, like to try and help her. Um, She also doesn't really have any extra time. If I find her a program that is beneficial enough, it'll be 5 days a week. She won't have extra time to do anything like that. The optimal would obviously to be to find a teaching job in the studios that she already attends or that we already attend. But the problem is that they won't hire even internships until 18 years old, and that's another year away. She does have a job, but she can only work 1 or 2 nights a week. So she doesn't make a ton of money, but that she is planning to help me pay for dance the best she can. But she's also trying to save up for college because she's going to college next year, and that's going to be like a whole new ball game in and of itself. So I'm letting her save up for college. She also wants to go on a mission for our church, and so she kind of needs to just save her money for that. I don't really want her to feel like she has to contribute quite yet because she's got 1 more year of being my baby, and then she won't be my baby anymore. You know what I mean? And she's adopted. We adopted her when she was 3, and I'm trying to enjoy every minute of her being my baby because it's almost over, and I can't believe I didn't. It's just like I blinked and it's over. So I don't want her to feel the pressure to financially contribute to that. I want to find something that I can afford. I think we can make it work with $200 more a month. It'll be tight, but we can do it, and we just need to find a program that will work. For now, I think she's just going to take a few classes here and there at different studios until she figures things out. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing. We still don't know. I'm leaving it all up to her. She is praying every day. She's spending a lot of time in prayer, reading her scriptures, asking God what his plans are for her because she thought she knew what her plan should be. And now she's kind of going, And I'm like, hey, babe, welcome to life. It's always the way it goes. You just think you're going along and everything's good and everything's happy, and then shake, shake, shake. Yeah, things change up. But I always tell my kids, when things change like that, when it feels overwhelming, when things are hard, that usually means something amazing is coming down the turnpike. And so if we just stay the course and follow our gut, we usually get where we need to be. And so that's what I'm letting her do. I'm not giving her any input on what I think she should do. I have not actually agreed with most of the decisions she's made. I'm letting her do it. It's her thing. She's almost an adult. I'm gonna let her make her own decisions. It's hard, but I know I trust her because she's a great person. She's a really good person. Like, really good, you guys. You would die if you knew her. Knowing the disappointments that she has faced literally from the day she was born, the fact that she's still so freaking positive all the time makes me just look like a moron because I am not. I don't know how she does that. Yeah. Anyway, she is a phenomenal person, and I'm honored to know her. Gosh, let's not talk about her anymore. I hope she's not watching this because now I feel like she knows I'm a nut. Andrea, you just started keto 5 days ago and you still feel hungry? You're getting there. Trust me. Day 5 is actually really, really hard. I think day 5 is one of the ones that get complaints a lot about just being miserable. So if you are really hungry, go ahead and pound how much fat you need. Make sure you're getting those electrolytes because probably you're craving electrolytes because that's when you start to usually whoosh is somewhere around that time. So make sure you're getting a lot of sodium and make sure you don't get too much at once so that you don't flush your system and just push through, power through. That first week is rough, and after the first week, it's not so bad. So hang in there. You got this. Okay, and I'm going back to the very top of the list because I had some questions that I ignored at the beginning. So if you have something really important, I will try so hard to get everybody's questions, but we are now getting to the point where it's harder for me to see everybody's questions, and because we have a lot. So keep trying. Okay. So Penny Wallace asked me, she's dying to know how tall I am and what my goal weight is. So on my left leg, I know this is funny. On my left leg, I'm about 5'7". On my right leg, I'm about 5'8". I have an inch and some difference between which leg I'm standing on. I go by my 5'7" just because it's the shorter, and I'm probably really 5'8". I don't know. My leg is actually shorter than the other one. That's why when I dance, I clomp around and look very, very ungraceful. But I'm still going to take a ballet class this year. Not going to perform. Just going to take it for technique. Just because. Why not? Anyway, my goal weight as of now is 150. I don't know if it will change. I don't know if I get to the 160s, I'll feel comfortable. I already feel pretty comfortable where I'm at in the 190s. I hate to say that. And maybe that's why I haven't been as motivated to track, and I've just kind of been eating a lot of the higher fat things because I know that's slowing me down. I know that's part of the reason my scale isn't really moving is because I am not really being super serious this month about it. I'm just kind of doing whatever I feel like doing, and I'm staying keto, but I'm just not being really super strict. I generally know what I can eat, and what I show on my What to Eat Wednesday is what I generally eat when I'm losing fat. But I have been eating things in between or in addition that I have not necessarily filmed because I don't want to confuse people. I want my videos to be really usable for people who are trying to lose fat, and I don't want it to get confusing because I'm not technically in maintenance, but I have been eating maintenance calories more often than not. Does that make sense? So part of me is really happy where I'm at. And I know I don't look that amazing. Like when I watch myself on my other channel, if you want to see what my body looks like my full-on body, you will see it all the time on my other channel because my kids are always filming me in very awkward angles. Yeesh. But I put it in there. I put it in there because it's real life and it's real me. On this channel, I tend to just sit here and talk, and so I really only get to see this part of me a lot. Unless you see the slideshows I posted Sunday, then you can see my whole body as a little bit, but you won't see me like in daily life moving around. On Hide and Seek, my other channel, you will see that. So if you want to know what I really look like, that's where you'll see it. You can see I still have a belly, but my butt looks good, and I really feel comfortable where I'm at. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 150, and I might want to stop before I get to that point. My original goal was like 130. I wanted to be like thin. And now I'm just kind of like, maybe I don't really care as much about being thin because I'm feeling already like I'm living my life. I don't feel like my weight's holding me back from anything anymore. And so I feel really happy and pretty and comfortable. I don't know. I feel like I look really good because I look better than I ever have before. And so maybe I'm just kind of enjoying it and making it slow down a little bit. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Life is crazy. You know, emotions kind of come into play. I don't want to be one of those channels that just kind of like falls off the planet and stops doing things, or, you know, I don't want to gain it back. I definitely don't want to go back on carbs. I'm definitely keto for life. You guys are never going to see me go back on carbs unless something like drastic happens and I don't know, I fall off. I literally go crazy, which could happen because I am kind of a crazy person and my emotions are like all over the place. And I do have depression. I do struggle from depression. So when I'm on keto, I'm a lot more calm and I have a lot fewer episodes. I have never medicated for depression. I've never really admitted to myself that I had it until about 3 years ago when my son was diagnosed. That's when I finally went, okay, maybe I do have it, but I like struggled my whole life believing I didn't. But now I have admitted that I do. So sometimes my emotions get the better of me. So if I actually go crazy, I I don't know what will happen. But I think as long as nothing too crazy happens in my life, I can keep trucking along doing what I'm doing because keto keeps me a lot more calm. My kids like me better, and I don't ever foresee going off of it, but I don't know that I'm going to keep on like pushing really hard for the fat loss as much as I have in the past. Does that make sense? All right, so I hope that answered your question. I'm 5'7" and my goal weight's 150. I should have just said it that way and not go on and on and on like a crazy person. Okay. Get Fit For Me asks a macros calculation question. I don't have a math brain. If you cook a large pan of raw chicken, how do you calculate raw macros after it's cooked without measuring each individual chicken breast before? You can't really. I mean, technically, what you would do is you would weigh it all before, cook it all, weigh it all after, and then divide it into portions and use that dividing it into portions to determine how much it would be. So it does kind of get a little bit complicated, but not necessarily, because if you're just cooking the chicken by itself and then you're weighing the chicken by itself, you can see the difference in weight. So if you divide the original weight by 6, and that's 6 servings, you divide the second weight by 6, that's 6 servings, you know that the cooked piece, which will be smaller, is the same protein as the raw piece, which would be, heavier. Does that make sense? This is the reason right here, though, that I don't like to do recipes, because that's how you do a recipe. You put everything into chronometer into your pan as you're putting it in. You enter it into chronometer, and then you pour the whole recipe into a bowl and weigh it. And then you can divide that weight by serving sizes and put it into chronometer to get your actual serving size macro. So you don't have to figure out the division of every single thing you put in there. Chronometer does it for you, but it's really inconvenient. I'm telling you. So unless you make a recipe all the time and it's something you really love, it's just not worth it to me to put the effort in most of the time. But I don't know, maybe it's time for me to branch out a little bit. I don't know. But that's how you do it. You weigh it raw, cook it, and then weigh it again and divide it up into serving sizes evenly so that you know which serving has that amount of protein. Okay, I am just going to quickly go through here. I could maybe do a video of that, but I just don't do that. I really don't ever do that. I just don't do that. I could try maybe. I'll talk to Dave about it. Maybe we can make that, but what we do is what we usually do. Okay, so what we usually do is we throw a bunch of chicken and rice in the Instant Pot for my kids, and we don't weigh it or anything, and they just eat it. And then Dave and I make ours separately, and we cook it on the stovetop with a little bit of olive oil spray or olive oil if we want to have a little bit more fat, or bacon fat if we want to have a little bit more fat. We weigh ours individually for me and David and my son Oliver, because all three of us are keto. We all have different macros. So we weigh each a piece out and then cook it separately in the pan and cook the veggies separately. That's just how we do it. We don't usually make a huge amount and then divide it. It's just easier for us to cook it on the stovetop that way. But I can ask. I can ask him. I don't know. It does sound confusing. I wish I could explain it better. Basically, the water cooks out. So if you have 6 pounds of chicken, and after you cook it out, it only weighs 4 pounds. Dividing 6 by 6, is a pound. And dividing 4 by 6, that's the same amount of protein. I don't know what that is. My math brain doesn't work either. What's 4 divided by 6? I don't know. That was a dumb number, but you get my point is that you would do a serving size in your chronometer of raw, and then the serving size would be smaller in the actual cooked chicken. I don't know. That sounds even more confusing, doesn't it? Ah, sigh. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? Questions? Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. Okay, back to where we were. Where are we? don't know where we were. Protein shakes. Patricia Cassidy says she has trouble eating and not wanting to, so she has protein shakes. Yeah, I do too normally. I have no money. I can't go get any right now, or I would. But yeah, when I can't eat and I just need to get the protein in, I do the Premier protein shakes, or I get some ISO Pure, which is even lower carb than that, and add it to pancake recipes or try and get it in another way. Yeah. Karen, you used to watch YouTube on 2 times speed and found out it only gives creators half the viewing time. What? Really? I didn't know that. But yeah, viewing time does matter because you have to have a minimum of 4,000 minutes, or no, 4,000 hours, which is what, 240,000 minutes, in order to even get paid on YouTube at all. And on my other channel, I have, as of this morning, 850 minutes so far. No, hours. Oh my gosh. You guys, I do know math. I promise. I do. 850 hours so far on my other channel, and I need 4,000. All right. Sarah from Pearls of Wisdom and Food says she has summer malaise with what to talk about in your videos, but she's never bored with her yummy, delicious foods. That's awesome, Sarah. You have the best salads, too. Maybe I need to do a salad. That might be a good idea, because I know you always do your big A salads, and those look really yummy. I might have to try that. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe it's I'm needing more veggies. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, with everything. Oh, do I ever cook a pan of chicken breast all at once to reheat through the week? No. I know a lot of people do that, but I just can't stand. I am like averse to leftovers, so I'm not a meal prepper. I think meal prep is a fantastic idea, but in the actuality of it, I won't eat it. I just can't make myself eat it. I like to cook it fresh. So what we do is we actually buy a like 50-pound case of chicken breasts, and then we freeze them either individually or we'll cut them into pieces that we know we normally eat. So like 5-ounce portions or 6-ounce portions, and throw them in the freezer. And then whenever I want to eat one, I just microwave it on the defrost setting for however many minutes, for a half pound or whatever, or a pound, depending on the day. Then I get it to almost de-thawed, but not all the way. De-thawed? Why do I say that? That's opposite. Thawed. Oh my gosh, you guys. And then I slice it up into little thin slices and just cook it in pan until it's done. And that's how I do it every single day. I don't really do meal prep. But I'm home most of the time, and okay, that's not true. I'm home when I eat. I don't tend to have to take things with me. Though when I'm out, I do eat a lot of lettuce wrap burgers from restaurants and things like that, and I'm not looking forward to that again. I really prefer to eat it at home. So I really don't do that. But basically what you would do is you would cook your chicken in a big pan with all of your seasonings and make it how you love it, and you know that you will eat it, okay? So it's all cooked. You will weigh it raw first, the entire batch. Then you will cook all of it. Then you'll put it in a clean bowl and put it on your scale and weigh all of it. Then you will divide it up into your 7 portions for the week. Put it in the little containers. You put it in Chronometer as the raw weight, and divide it up into the same amount of portions. And those are the portions that you would do. Enter it in like a recipe. So you'll go into Chronometer and you'll add a new recipe. And then you'll add in, 6 pounds of chicken breast. That's all you need to put in there, unless you're adding a bunch of garlic or onions or veggies or whatever. But you can put all the things you use into there. And you can use it, you can divide it by serving sizes. And I do have a video where I did that. It's not with meat, but I did it with a gravy. But you can see how I entered it into Chronometer. It is my hamburger gravy recipe. I have a playlist for recipes, and I don't have very many recipes. But when I do them, I try and show how to do that in Chronometer. So if you want to see how I did it with the recipe, you can see how I divided it out. But that's what you would do. So you would weigh it all together, the recipe, as you're putting it in. Put it into Chronometer. Then you weigh the whole thing together. And then you divide it up by 7 and put it in your little containers. And that's the weight. You do it by weight. So say it weighs 500 and, whatever. Or make it easy. Say it weighs 700 grams. then a serving is going to be 100 grams, and you will measure out 100 grams and put it in a container. And then you put it in the fridge for the week. Then you know that it's that recipe and it's one serving, and you just use that one serving in your chronometer each day. So did that help? I hope that helped, because I think that might have explained it a little better. Okay. How do you measure it? You need a food scale. So buy it on Amazon or Walmart. I just have a cheap one. My best one that I ever actually bought was at like a tool selling store. That thing lasted for 20 years, and then it finally died. I really miss that scale because it never died on me. And I've had several digital ones go weird. But yeah, you just need a simple food scale, and you can buy them pretty much anywhere that sells like that kind of home goods store kind of thing. Do you look different in the line? Sarah, you're so funny. Just fasting without keto help. I'm not sure exactly what that means. You do not have to fast to lose fat. Fasting gives your body more time to heal itself and to repair muscle, so it's better for you that way. But don't do more than intermittent fasting. Don't do more than 24 hours at a time. So one meal a day would be the length of fasting that I would recommend. Crazy fasts like egg fasts, beef and butter fasts, water fasts, they basically don't. The benefits do not outweigh the risks. Dr. Finney recommends not fasting past 24 hours because it can mess with your metabolism permanently. They have done studies where they have determined that it's even more difficult to lose weight if you're fasting for long, extended periods of time. So it may have benefited you during the time of the fast, but once you go back on food, it makes it more difficult. I hope that helps. I think that's adorable that your name is Kimberly, and I'm going to try really hard not to forget that. Wow, Lindrika. I always thought your name was just Lindrika, which is such a cool name. I don't know. All right, let's see. Have I always preferred savory? No. I would say I've always preferred more sweets. And maybe that's the problem, is that I really am in the mood for sweets. Not really in the mood for savory. I don't know. Maybe. Hey, Kathy. Totally Kathy is here. I love you. Good to see you. Thank you, Kimberly, for supporting my other channel. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I made you cry, Amanda. Oh my gosh. I think I look terrible in the hide and seek videos. I look way better on YouTube Live. Did you know YouTube smooths you? Guys, you can't even see my wrinkles. Look at these. You can't even see them. On my regular channel, on my family channel, I have wrinkles. I'm like, whoa. YouTube is really nice. They have like a lovely skin smoothing something or other filter, I swear, on live chat. Because I do not look like this when I film myself in my selfie videos. Why is that? It's depressing. I thought I just looked this way. I thought I just looked so pretty. And then I see myself in real life and I'm like, Chandler Green asks me, do I play Fortnite? No. I don't have time for that. But my kids all play it to my chagrin all the time. Sometimes till 2 a.m. when I'm editing videos, I hear them down there sneaking Fortnite. Don't love Fortnite. We have a Fortnite video on our hide and seek channel. Check us out, HYDE and seek. All right. Amanda says, if your heart's desire is just to maintain for a couple of months, nobody will judge you. I would like to believe that that is true. I know that you guys who are my real supporters that actually like me and love me as a person would feel that way, but there are a lot of people who watch my videos who do not feel that way, and I know that they would, and I don't care. I mean, I'm just like, whatever. I'm going to do whatevs. I'm just explaining it here so you guys know that's kind of like where my headspace is at. Because in June, I was like on fire, and I lost 20 pounds in June, which was the weirdest thing ever. That's literally never happened to me. And then my body went, whoa, too much. And it's just kind of taken a step back a little bit. But I lost a whole size at least in July, even though I didn't really lose a lot of weight. Man, I look smaller. So it's so weird how that works. I don't know. Some days life just sucks. That is for sure. And some days I feel like it's not fair how happy my life is. Like, other people have so much worse problems. Other people go through so much harder things. And sometimes I feel a little jealous of, I mean, not jealous, guilty, sorry, guilty, and beating myself up because we have such a great life. But I mean, we struggle every day. I struggle with a lot of things, but they're just not as bad as some things that even really good friends of mine struggle with. So if you're out there struggling, I know there's people struggling. Look at Julian. Love you, Julian. He's not here, I don't think, but he's got some struggles. If you guys haven't been to, I think it's Jules Journey, I think is his channel. They just started a new channel, you guys. I have now inspired someone else to start a family vlog channel, which is super fun and cool. And I'm just like, ah. It's the Pits Stop, Pitts Stop. If you guys have a minute to go support Julian, they could really use it. They are really struggling and they need help. So, yeah. Learning through the insanity. That is a cool name, by the way, because we homeschool and we're in the chaos. What is keto? It's a low carb way of eating to lose fat. I have a beginners series on my channel if you want to check it out. Mech says that I'm a positive person. I try, but my daughter is better than me. Can you password protect chronometer? I think it's just your Google password. I don't know. I mean, you have to log in. Too much work. Too much work. It's not work. It's just to eat meat and cheese and veggies. Not hard. All right. Let's see. Carb balanced tortillas. I don't really go for the tortillas. I feel like they're just on the edge of being too carby. In general, you really should use total carbs if you're going to use a product like that. I don't always count total carbs for when I eat bars and things though, or the keto cake. So I'm not one to talk. It's really up to you, but I personally don't use them because it's dangerously close to bread. And I just feel like the fiber is kind of just added in for, I don't know, to make it low carb. They just don't feel very keto to me. But, it's your journey. If it works for you and if it's in your carb count, go for it. But I personally haven't used them because I feel like it's a gateway drug kind of deal where I would just kind of fall into doing my regular thing. With my main meals, I try to keep them very keto. The only things that I ever do that way are if I need to have a treat. Okay, so if I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need to eat something and I stop by the gas station and get a piece of cheese and a protein bar because that's what they have that I can eat that's keto, those things are a little bit what I do on the edge, but my main meals, I try and keep them very simple and very keto as much as possible. So I don't tend to eat a lot of I don't do 90-second bread or fat pizzas or anything like that because I just feel like if I start doing that in my main meals, it'll be risky for me. So it's up to you, but I personally don't use them. Chronometer, chronometer can be confusing at first. The reason I use it is just because it has USDA entries and it seems to be more accurate on the potassium levels. A lot of the other apps that people forgot or didn't put in the potassium levels, and I feel like it's dangerous, especially if you decide you're going to supplement potassium, which I know a lot of you guys do. It's risky if you don't know exactly how much potassium is in everything. I try and keep my potassium, even when I'm supplementing, fairly lowish for keto. Usually I keep it in the 2000s range. Sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher, but I never, ever, ever go above 3000 because I'm supplementing sodium and I don't need to. But if you're not doing as much sodium and you're trying to do the higher potassium, you really, really need those USDA entries. And that is the main reason I use chronometer, is just because it's more accurate. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt to learn it, but once you do, it's not as bad, but it does have a learning curve, and on the Facebook group, we do have several chronometer discussion topic things. So go ahead and just search for chronometer on there, and it's CR, there's no H, CRONOMETER is how it's spelled. Yes, you really do get to a point where you have to force yourself to eat, and that's probably tomorrow, Andrea. You're on day 5. I'm actually kind of surprised you haven't hit it yet. It's any day now, and it will be hard. So when it is, come back and say, hey, you were right. And I had to take a protein shake because I couldn't eat all that chicken. Yep. And then it goes back away, and you'll feel like there's some days where you could eat all the chicken on the planet and you never be satisfied. And then it'll go back to normal. I don't know. It's weird. Bodies are so weird. Okay. Oh, okay. That's an uncomfortable question, 7D Farm. Okay. Hello, Tammy. I am LDS and keto as well. LDS is our religion. We're Mormons. Um, Tell me about Bang and Monster. Which energy drinks are good for keto? Okay. Bang and Monster are both okay for keto because if you're not being strict about artificial sweeteners, which a lot of you guys are, and I know that, I am not. They have sucralose and aspartame. I drink my sucralose and aspartame. This one has, I always try to remember which one has which, but I can't ever remember. Let's see what this one has. This one has sucralose. So this is the same as Mio Water Enhancer for the sweetener, but it does have 300 milligrams of caffeine. So I know a lot of you guys who are strict LDS don't drink a lot of caffeine. I know that the guy who represented Monster, who was like a some kind of border, snowboarder maybe, recently publicly left Monster because he didn't feel it was appropriate for a Mormon to be a presenter of that drink. I don't necessarily agree with him. And I feel like, whatever you have to do to survive. I mean, I get very little sleep and I have 9 kids and I need some caffeine and I can't drink coffee. So I drink energy drinks, but I try to avoid drinking more than one a day just because, I don't want to kill myself because they can do weird things to your heart, especially Bang. They do make Bang at GNC that is caffeine free. So if you're looking for a soda, not a caffeine kind of thing, they do sell it at GNC. But so my feelings on diet sodas, we all know. I love my diet soda and I'm not giving it up. A lot of people have tried to convince me of the errors of my ways, and right now that is just not in my headspace. It's not happening. And I have a very good relationship with my Heavenly Father, and He knows where I'm at, and He knows what I can do, and He is not going to give me a hard time about my energy drinks right now. Someday in the future, He may. But right now, we're working on other things, and that's all we can do as people is try to be better people every single day. We can't be perfect in every rule. And I know I'm on here on YouTube representing the Mormon Church and drinking my freaking monsters and saying freaking and things that most Mormons probably don't do. But God put me here for a reason. He thinks I have something to say that's worth saying. And it also does have to do with talking about God and Jesus and sharing that message with people as well as sharing keto, which is part of the reason I started my family channel. And I actually got up in church last week on testimony meeting, and I actually bore my testimony about not being the perfect Mormon. And I just got up there, and I'll tell you right now, no one is a perfect. God did not intend us to be perfect. It's not possible for us to be perfect. And we don't have to be. We're striving to be better every single day. And as long as we're praying and asking Heavenly Father to help us to be better people and asking forgiveness for the stupid things we do, He loves us. He loves us all. He loves every one of us, no matter where we are in our lives. And that's kind of how I feel about my energy drinks right now. So that's a long religious answer to a question I wondered if was coming. But yeah, so it's up to you individually. A lot of people have given me a hard time for keto in general because of the word of wisdom says that we should be eating grains and veggies and eating meat sparingly. And here I'm advocating eating meat and meat and meat. But what I have determined is that He has given us the gift of personal revelation. And if keto is what your body needs because your body can't handle carbohydrates, then the word of wisdom, those parts of the word of wisdom do not apply to you. So it's a personal thing between you and your Savior, and you need to just determine that for yourself, what makes you feel right inside. And that's for anybody who has a relationship with God. You should be praying all day. I pray all day. I cannot survive unless I'm constantly talking to God, because it's a lot of work being a mom of 9, and it's a lot of emotion, and it's a lot of hard things, and it's a lot of good things, and it's a lot of happy, and it's a lot of sad. And I like to share it all with Him because, I'm a chatty. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. She's here somewhere. My Facebook ID for the group, it's just Keto Chaos. Same as the channel. Spicy Italian salad. Debbie, give me that recipe in the comments if you can. I'd love that. Ruby Tuesday is a great place to eat. I love Ruth's Chris. My favorite restaurant is actually Texas Roadhouse, and maybe I'm needing to go there. We haven't been able to afford going out this month at all, other than taking the kids to do different things for our channel, but most of those have been free. We just have had a rough month financially, and so we haven't gone out. Maybe that's my problem. I really need me some Texas Roadhouse, maybe. Yeah. All right, let's see. Sorry, I am trying to read quick. Protein shake powder, yeah. Maybe it's just so expensive. Meat, I can get meat at a better deal than I can get protein shake powder. Plus, I don't usually have trouble getting my protein in. It's usually I get too much. I err on the side of too much most of the time. Don't worry about how much you have lost, Andrea. Your body's still figuring it out. You may not have hit the whoosh yet. Some people lose a lot of water the first week, but it's really only water. So if you haven't lost, you may just not have been carrying as much water, or your body is still needing more electrolytes before it can flush out. Maybe you're not getting enough sodium. So don't panic. A lot of people have that same thing. A lot of people lose a ton the first week, but a lot of people don't. If you aren't on the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, because that you will find a lot of people talking about that on there. And you just have, it's just about patience, just like with me. Yeah. All right, let's see. Jessica Ray is just switching from high fat to the higher protein. Awesome. I hope it goes awesome for you. Hi. Nona Grace is here. You actually made it to a live chat. Woo! Good job, girl. Thank you, PhD Natural Me, for telling me that I look great. I appreciate the comments. I have 9 kids. My oldest is 22. I am 43. And my baby is 2. Yeah. And oh my gosh, you guys, can I confess something? I'm totally baby hungry right now. Like killer baby hungry. Like I want a baby so bad. So like if my husband hadn't had a vasectomy after my last kid, I would still be pregnant right now. But we're done. And I'm 43. Time to move on, but ooh, I don't want to. I love babies so much. All right. I don't know that language. My background is my bed. My hubby bought me this headboard specifically for you guys, so that I can have a pretty place out at all times to lock the door and chat with you guys. Because you notice none of my kids have bugged me yet. That's kind of a miracle, actually. It's almost 60 minutes. All right, let's see. I like Mormons. They're nice people. I just don't have their beliefs. Oh, that's good. That's totally, yeah. I totally get it. There's Julian. You're here. I was talking about your family channel earlier. I told everybody to go see Pit Stop. Don't miss out on Jules' channel. He's going to have some great stuff. All right. Let's see. Looks like all we got is trolleys now. That's cute. Anybody want to report Amanda Heitkamp for me? I would appreciate that, because I'm glad my son is not on here reading. Fun times. And the answer is yes, of course. Duh. Oh my gosh, my face is turning red now. Okay. Yeah, I think someone already took care of that. What is the whoosh? Okay, good question, Julian. Okay, so a whoosh is basically when your body drops a ton of water at once and the scale goes way down. So what happens when you lose fat is that your body will hold open those fat cells for a little while with water. which is weird because you can actually feel it in your skin. So as you're losing, if you start to notice these weird like lumps and bumps that feel like frozen peas in your skin, don't panic. It is not cancer. Those are actually fat cells that are filled up with water because water has a like more of a tension than fat does. So you can always tell when you're getting close to a whoosh because you'll feel those little um, pea, I just call them pea size, like frozen pea bumps in your skin, and they get really, really big. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, I guess she's not going to put fat in here because they do it to hold the cell open so that when you eat more crap, it can put more fat back in really easy. But then your body finally gets to the point where it believes you that you're not going to put more fat back in, and then it will just whoosh the water out. And you will like pee every hour. Your electrolytes will drop and you'll have to really pound the sodium. That is what happened to me last week, and I still have not recovered. I am still feeling the after effects of low sodium. I had really bad cramping again last night despite taking extra potassium, so I'm kind of frustrated. Anyway, so that is a whoosh. Basically, it's when the scale goes way down really fast. So you'll see that on my channel. If you're binge watching my weigh-ins and you're just looking at what happens, you'll see that I kind of put on some water weight, hold the water weight, whoosh off the water weight in a huge loss, and then have a regular loss. And that's generally my pattern. It hasn't been my pattern for the last 6 weeks though, but starting in January, that was my pattern all the way through to July. So there you go. That's what a whoosh is. I hope that answered your question. All right. Just go to church and borrow a baby for the afternoon. There's no babies in my ward. We're in like an older ward. Everybody already had 12 kids and moved on. We're in like a farming community kind of area, and everybody's kind of older. Nobody's having babies hardly. I am in the nursery, so I do get the toddlers. There are a few, and I get to cuddle them, but 2-year-olds don't like to cuddle that much. So yeah, I need to. After 40, the chance of Down syndrome increases. Oh, I know, because I've had a baby after 40, and I've been through that fear. Thankfully, he was cool and fine. But yeah, obviously, I'm not having any more babies. Vasectomy. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, man, the Trump supporters are back. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you guys all so much for watching for my trolls. But I have to just say, you guys, trolls are awesome. And the reason why trolls are cool is because that means my channel is being seen by random strangers. And I really need you guys to be like, even their visit here and they're chatting, which is inappropriate. Yeah, it still helps me. I still get the benefit of them having to watch a video to get in here, and there you go. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, so no more babies for me. It's hard. Yeah, there are like 3 babies, and the moms are really protective of them, and I don't want to steal them away. 3 only. Weird, right? It's crazy. Oh my gosh, Kendall Daniels is here. Kendall Daniels in the house. Good to see you, Kendall. Oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't seen you in like 40,000 years. And I've never had a whoosh during grocery shopping, but that sounds hilarious. Yeah, when I have a whoosh, it's usually when I'm driving kids from dance studio to dance studio and I have to pee at everyone. People know when I'm having a whoosh because I'm always like, excuse me, gotta use the restroom. Yeah. Aw, I'm glad your 2-year-old cuddles you. Jasper's just not as cuddly. He's never really been a cuddly baby, and it's been hard. Aw. Oh my gosh. There is like a old South Park, I think, that talks about Mormons having multiple husbands. Dave, are you here? What was that thing that... Oh, now I can't remember. The joke about polygamy going the other way, having multiple husbands. No, that's not happening. It's hard enough to keep one husband happy. Yeah, no. That's funny though. Okay, thanks for the laugh. Cute. All right. Thanks for the Soleil water video. I'm taking it 3 times a day. What a difference. That's awesome. You're not a random stranger? Dude, like I can't even read your name. I'm trying. Nam der pum sum kuchibeth. There you go. Now you're not a stranger anymore. All right, let's see. Have I been on long? Yeah, 1 hour and 4 minutes. So I need to like move on. But this is entertaining right now. This is entertaining. Oh, Jules, don't drink a gallon of water a day. Stop doing that right now. Um, this is the reason. You should only drink to thirst on keto. So that's about 60 to 80 ounces for me personally. Because you will flush your electrolytes and you will hit keto flu wall faster. So one of these days you will wake up with a really bad headache and feeling really tired and maybe having muscle cramping, maybe having nausea, and you won't be able to get back on top of it very easily because your sodium will be completely depleted. So make sure you're taking your sodium and cut back on the water. If you're really thirsty, you're likely more sodium deprived than anything. Dry lips, feeling dehydrated is a huge sign actually of sodium depletion. You'll find if you'll just take a shot of Soleil water, when you feel that way, sometimes you don't even need much water. I wash it down with about 6 ounces of water, a little bit, after I shoot it, and I don't feel thirsty anymore. So make sure you don't drink too much water on keto because it can be bad. So you may be having a whoosh, but you may also just be flushing your electrolytes. So be careful. Be careful. Grandbaby season. I don't know. Are grandbabies as cool as it sounds? Because I'm having a hard time thinking that grandbabies are that awesome. And plus, my kids are never going to have grandbabies. I don't know. Anyone who has chatted with me about grandbabies before, which some of you have, my oldest is 22 and he does not date. He's kissed one whole girl in his life and he ran for the hills, and that was 2 years ago. Does not date. Ever. Ever. At all. He's also not gay. I've asked him multiple times and he's like, no, mom, not gay. I just don't want a relationship. Okay. Okay. He doesn't want the responsibility of a family. So he is avoiding relationships by not dating. I don't know. That's his logic. He's only 22. I'm not super worried about it. When he turns 30, I'm going to be concerned since he lives in my basement. My 19, almost 20-year-old is preparing to go on a mission for our church. And so he's not planning on, and he doesn't date also, and has never kissed a girl. He's almost 20, never kissed a girl. He has a little girlfriend, but she lives in Wyoming. They just chat online. Online relationships are so popular now. It's so weird to me, but they like each other, but they don't ever see each other. So I don't think he's kissed her, but maybe when she's visited, it's possible. But anyway, then we have Ronnie, who is just turned 17 and has planning to go to college and go on a mission and start her own studio or get a job as a teacher. She has all these plans. But we all know best laid plans. So I have the highest hope for her, but not for a few more years. So I butchered his name. Dude, like, skipping you. Moving on. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad you're not judging. I appreciate it. Sweating constantly is just a random thing some people have. My husband has that, and it did come on worse with keto. I do not have that issue. Possibly it's another way for your body to secrete ketones. Just like when you have like keto breath, that kind of thing. I have had keto breath and I've had the BO issues, but I've never really had too much sweating problems, but my husband does. So I think it's just a person by person thing, and it hopefully won't last forever because eventually your body starts to burn the ketones more effectively and those problems kind of go away, at least for the most part. Keep an eye on it. You might end up with keto rash with the sweating. Make sure you're showering a lot, and I hope you don't get keto rash because I've never had that and I don't have any recommendations. Soleil water is saturated salt water. There's a video on my channel if you just search it. Let's see. I've been doing keto for a couple of years and never supplemented sodium this much. And you're doing it now and you're feeling so much better. Yeah, that's what I tell people. People are like, oh, I feel fine. I don't need that much sodium. And I'm always going, but you don't know how good you could feel. Because it helps with mental clarity. It helps with so many things. You don't feel tired as much. I don't know. That's right. Probably gay, but hiding it, maybe. We've wondered. But I mean, Like his best friend is gay, but he doesn't spend a lot of time with them. I don't know. I wonder. I wish he'd just say so if he was. I'm asked multiple times, but he doesn't want to talk to me about it if it is that. So, Joy Stoddard. Hi, Tammy. We need to meet up. Time has flown. I'm in Provo. Hey, message me on Facebook, Joy, and we'll see if we can work it out. It would be fun. That would be a fun video. Maybe we could do a meetup of some kind for my on the 23rd for my 1 year keto versary. I'm not keto versary. YouTube versary. I don't know. I'm trying to decide on what I should do for that. Maybe us Utah people should really get together because I have other ones that keep saying we should get together, but I am not ever going to set it up because that's just not in my nature. Like, so if you guys want to get together, like make a Facebook event and invite me and I'll probably show up. But I'm not really good at like planning that kind of stuff because I'm so busy. I don't always think about it. Like when you say it here, I'm like, yeah, we should do that. And then an hour later, I'm going to be like, who was asking me about that? I'm never going to remember. So 22 is not that old except in Utah. So true. So true. So Eve, servant of God, says her kids are 26, 29, and 27 and do not have partners either. Well, at least it's not just me. I was freaking married and had a kid by then. But, you know, I'm a Utah Mormon and that's what I did. I chose to do that. And I don't expect my kids to make the same choice. They can do what they feel like they need to do. I mean, yeah, anyway. Jessica Ray says she just had a test at the doctor and they said, oh no, you have high ketones in your urine. And I was like, dang, that means I'm not using them. And they looked at me like I was nuts. That's because usually doctors will equate ketone in the urine for burning your muscle mass. But I don't understand that at all because it's not muscle that creates ketones. Now that I know about ketones, I get that it's not a thing. It's just that means you're not eating enough. They think that it means you're starving and so you're burning your fat. Yeah. Karen, I'm glad to hear that your 21-year-old's also not dating. I just feel like it's weird. I was like making out with everybody by the time I was 15. Yeah. I don't use collagen, but it's fine to use it. You just can't count it towards your protein macro. It has to be in addition to your protein macro because it's not a complete protein. If you feel like you need it for skin elasticity or hair loss, go for it. I haven't taken it. I'm never doing a 21-day fast of any kind. I don't believe in, we talked about it earlier, but I don't believe in any extended fasting at all. 24 hours is the most I would ever do. So no, I will never do that. Soleil water video, just search it. It's how to make it, basically. Okay, looks like we're getting to the dregs now. I can't believe there's still 59 of you here though. That's actually probably the highest I've ever had at an hour 12 in a long time. But yeah, I'm sorry I'm shaking the phone, but I'm wiggling your comments to make sure it's time to move on, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think so. So, thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you to all the trolls who just gave me all your lovely clicks. Be sure to click on an ad before you leave so that I can get money from your support. Appreciate it. If you're serious about losing weight, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And for those of you who are watching this later and made it all the way to the end, I love you so much. Make sure to put a kissy face emoticon in the comment section below. And that's all I have for you today. We'll talk to you again soon.